You know what I mean? Avatar reaction. I already did Avatar reaction, bro. You're late. You're late, my boy. You're late. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard they making a new Jason movie? The freak? Say you swear on my bees. You know what I'm saying? But no, though, man. What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, man, Jay Willie Silly, man. AKA Mr. Take It Easy. Before you end up like Beezy. But I'm gonna go and just lighten this down a little bit. I gotta put this on full screen. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go and light this down. You said Vegas shooting? Yeah, we're gonna do the Vegas shooting after this. But I'm gonna lighten this down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And let's get into action, baby. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie, this has been requested a long time. The internet's darkest corner 7. This is part 7. It was gonna be part 1 for me. Make sure y'all follow the Twitch, man. Subscribe to my second channel. Everything you need to know about your boy Jay. It's in the description down below. We're gonna get back to scary reactions tomorrow. I know a lot of subscribers and I know a lot of followers want them scary reactions back, bro. I got a Christmas horror story dropping for y'all tomorrow. I already got everything lined up, bro. You know what I'm saying? But we got the internet's darkest corners. I think I probably put this in the true stories playlist section or the true crime playlist section. I'm gonna see how it starts off. But like I said, it's getting breezy out here. It's getting cold out here, man. You know, y'all snuggling up, man. It's the time for Polar Express. You know, I'm gonna get into that mode probably around next Friday. You know, I ain't gonna lie, Alabama playing Oklahoma, bro. So that'll be a good present for me if we can get the dub, bro. You know, but it's around that time for some hot cocoa. You know what I'm saying? Some Polar Express, the Christmas Carol, the Grinch, whatever you watching. You know what I mean? A Merry Christmas, man, to everybody. And you speaking on Avatar, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely watching Avatar. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Comes out December 21st. I think I'll be watching that December 23rd. I watched the last Avatar, you know what I'm saying, in 3D. I actually went to theaters, bro, and watched it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That was way better than the freaking first Avatar. You know, I really, like, bro, I really can't name a time where I just sat and watched a movie like for 3 hours straight. Like, Avatar just got that thing about it, bro. Like, Avatar is like, bro, like the only movie that I could just sit down and watch for 3 hours straight. Like, I tried to watch The Godfather like that, bro, and I just couldn't, bro. The Avatar, bro, was fire from the beginning to the end, bro. So I'm definitely gonna go watch the Avatar, though. Home Alone, Home Alone. Oh yeah, Home Alone, Home Alone.
Okay, what's going on?
All right, this is what's happened.
It's the 7th of November, 2014. 45-year-old Joseph Parker dials 911 at 2:45 in the morning to report an urgent incident that had taken place inside his home in Springville, Tennessee. An incident that had been solely his own doing.
I've been married 12 years. On the 4th, which would have been 2 nights ago at 4 a.m., I shot my wife in the temple of her head. I thought I killed her. And I put her in the freezer out in the garage.
It happened on him and his wife Samantha's 12th wedding anniversary, a day that should have been a celebration, but instead had somehow ended in Joseph shooting Samantha at point-blank range, before proceeding to put her body inside their garage freezer. An awful crime that Joseph was now confessing to a 911 operator. But this confession wasn't the real reason for his call.
Killed this man, bro, this man killed this woman on their anniversary. It don't get more colder than that. And after you shot her in the temple, he put her in the freezer.
As Joseph likely.
That's why I'm trying to tell y'all, get to know who y'all marry, bro. I'm telling you, I promise you, if she would have took her time marrying this man, I promise you, she would have knew the psycho for what he is.
Would have been content without ever reporting his own crime, had it not been for the fact that hours prior, he noticed something unusual.
I was in the garage when I checked on her tonight, and she's not dead.
She's not dead, and you shot her in the temple?
She's got a big hole in the temple of her head, and to get her body moved around in there, I think I broke her wrist. You know, she was frozen from being in the thing. She's been in this thing 48 hours now.
And she's still alive.
According to Joseph, Samantha was still alive, despite having a large hole in her head and spending so long in their freezer that she was seemingly frozen solid. When he checked on her that morning, he realized that she wasn't actually dead and was still conscious. The scenario Joseph was describing should have been impossible, with it being so outlandish that Joseph felt the need to tell the operator that this wasn't a prank.
This is no prank call. I need somebody to get out there and help her out. But I promise you this is a legit call, and I need somebody to get out there and help her because I still love her. Just
No, you don't.
Believe
no, you don't.
After that, you know, but I love her. I still
No, you
love
don't.
her. You know, I've loved her every day I've been married.
No, you don't.
A rough stretch here.
He
Yeah,
was being
no, you don't.
serious, and all he wanted to do now was get Samantha help, as he claimed to still love her despite everything
You don't
he had
love her.
done. And help couldn't come quickly enough, as Joseph went into greater detail about just how bad Samantha's condition was, and how he was able to determine she was alive in the first place.
She's been frozen for 2 days. She's frozen solid. It's amazing she's still alive. She couldn't talk, couldn't move her jaw. She's in bad shape. She's a mess. She can't talk. I could get her to blink. Blink once means yes. Blink twice means no.
Despite being unable to speak or move, Samantha was still blinking, and was actually blinking in response to questions Joseph was asking her, once for yes and twice for no. And in a moment of what appears to be a regret for what he had done, he tried to make things better by giving her blankets and pouring water in her mouth.
Yes, she's still in the garage. I made her as comfortable as I can make her.
It don't matter if you made her as comfortable as you can make her, bro. She got a big old hole in her head, bro. It don't matter about making her as comfortable as you can make her. She has a big hole in her head. She has a big hole in her temple. She gonna die off that alone, man.
These responses led to a lengthy one-sided conversation that ended with Joseph vowing to get her help, which he was attempting to do now as he drove miles away, clearing the scene for authorities and paramedics to save her, while calling 911
She not gonna make
and
it.
explaining the surreal scenario.
We don't have a history of domestic disputes. You know, we've never had to call the police or nothing. We just had a real bad night a couple of nights ago. Just waving the gun around. Got myself in trouble.
The two had a happy and healthy marriage that, for whatever reason, had turned sour on their anniversary, in what he referred to as a real bad night, where something in Joseph had snapped. But despite admitting to the murder, he made it clear that he had no intention of going to prison. He just wanted to make sure that Samantha was saved.
Don't want to get arrested tonight.
Oh, you're going to get
Telling
arrested.
the operator that they'll find her in the freezer, before ending the call shortly after.
You go to the garage, you can't yell for you. You can't yell. But you go to the garage, and that's where you'll see her once you get to the garage.
Sure enough, when authorities entered Joseph and Samantha's home and ventured into the garage, they would see Samantha's red hair flowing out from the side of the freezer, and inside, they would find Samantha herself, frozen completely solid with a gunshot wound to her head, in the same exact manner that Joseph had described.
No way she
But
survived.
other than this, it was clear that Joseph's retelling of events was flawed, to say the least, as Samantha hadn't just been placed inside the freezer, she had been jammed inside of it, as if he was desperate to get her to fit inside, so much so that he actually sawed off her left leg, along with making a series of other cuts to her body to get her to fit. And this wasn't even the most damning revelation, with the most important having to do with Samantha's condition. Just by looking at her, it was clear to the first responders that Samantha was dead, and had been dead for days, likely having been killed instantly by the gunshot, meaning that the blinking Joseph had witnessed was entirely hallucinated. It never could have happened, and yet that was his reality, and he fully believed it. Upon the discovery, Joseph quickly became the #1 most wanted man in Tennessee, and that same day, police would track down his vehicle as he appeared to have been trying to flee the state. But the officers got to him first, pulling him over and then surrounding his vehicle, drawing their guns and preparing for anything. But just as Joseph had said on the phone, he had no interest in going to jail, and that was something he was dead serious about. When officers finally got his car door opened, they would find Joseph Parker in the driver's seat, dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. His death made it impossible to fully confirm why he had taken Samantha's life that night, but reports seemed to indicate that he had recently lost his job, and the couple was experiencing financial hardships.
Bro, all this over financial, like, that's why I'm like, come on, bro. Like, you know how many jobs I done lost? Like, you know how many times I had no money in my account? You know I had -47 in my account, bro. Like, not once have I ever thought, bro, because as quick as something can go bad is as quick as something can go good, bro. All this over financial stuff, all this over losing a job, bro. not only you taking your life, but you taking your wife's life as well. Like, it's just, man, bro. That's one thing about people, man. Like, people just feel like they just be the only ones going through hardship, bro. You know what I'm saying? Once something bad happen in people's life, people just go insane, bro. You're going to face hardship. You're going to face troubles. You're going to face trials. You're going to face tribulations, bro. It's what's going to happen. I promise you, nobody walking this earth ever had a perfect life. Even if they got all the money in the... Bro, money does not wipe away problems. I'm just trying to tell you that right now. Only thing money can give you, bro, is you can buy everything. That's literally it. You know what I mean? It's rare that rich people are happy. Whole time, you know what I'm saying? I told you, that's why rich people say money cannot buy happiness. Those are the first people that you see saying that slogan. Because they're not happy. Happiness don't just come from money, kid. It don't, bro. You know what I'm saying? But dang, bro, it's just, man. Bro, you're not the only one. I don't know who need to hear this. You're not the only one going through something, bro. Somebody is going through something that's 10 times worse than you. It's a lot of people in this world that wish they had only your problem. You know what I'm saying? For you to kill yourself and kill your wife because of you losing your job, because financial struggles, bro, it's just uncalled for, bro. I just like, bro, y'all know how much trials I could have off myself, right? Losing my YouTube channel, my cousin dying, negative 47 in my account. You know how much I went through? You know what I'm saying? You know how much I went through? But I realized them trials and them tribulations, bro, made me into the man I am today. 99% of the trouble and the trials and the tribulations you go through is always a lesson involved. You know what I mean? Look at this. Okay, what's God's trying to teach me? What's the lesson in here? You know, that's how I look at it, bro. With every hardship and with every trial is always a lesson, bro. It's always a teachable moment in hardship and trial, bro.
Their home in danger of...
Just think about it, bro. If life was so perfect, life would be boring. Think about it, bro. If life was so perfect, bro, would you be who you are today? If your life was just good, bro, you'd just be the most like bratish. You'd just be the most horrible person if your life was just always good, bro. Nothing ever happened in your life, no mistakes, nothing. So how can you be groomed to becoming a better person when your life always perfect? Being a better person comes from hardship and trials.
But reports also indicate that this murder didn't happen in the midst of the fight, as evidence points to Samantha having been asleep at the time she was shot.
I don't know what you meant by that, Perk 13, but I appreciate the subscription. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you meant by that, but I appreciate the subscription, Perk 13.
Some uncertainty to how the situation truly did unfold. But one noteworthy discovery made after the fact was that at the time of his death, Joseph had drugs in his system, which could have been a factor in the murder itself, and it certainly was a factor in the hallucinations he was seeing afterwards. As he stood in his garage having full conversation.
Said money buys you happiness, then you're not a happy person. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Perk 30. If your emotions, and I used to be like you, bro, if your emotions are freaking controlled by money, you're not really a happy person. You know what I'm saying? Imagine being controlled by money. Imagine something that could be gone tomorrow. You know, because I used to be that person. I used to get depressed when I didn't have money. I'm like, dang, I'm letting money control me like this. Imagine that, bro. You letting money control you like that. When you don't have money, you're depressed. So that means you're not really a happy person. You're not a happy person. You know what I'm saying? Think about it, bro. You're dead in the soul. If you don't have money, that's your God. Money is your God. If money makes you happy, that's your God. Sorry. If money makes you depressed, that's your God. When you don't have money and you feel like nothing, that's your God. You can idolize anything. You can idolize a car. You can idolize money. You can idolize people. You can idolize anything. If your emotions is based off money, bro, you are not a happy person. You need to look within, bro. You need to go to therapy. You know what I mean? You need to go to therapy.
The frozen, mutilated corpse.
Like for me, bro, I remember times I had nothing in my account. When I got closer with God, you get closer with God, you see what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Because that's the true richness in life, bro. You know, because money left me a lot of times, but God ain't never left me, even through the trials and tribulations, bro. He ain't never left me, bro. And like I said, people that don't believe in God, you don't know him like I do. You got to get a relationship. It's like the wind. God is like the wind, bro. I can't see him, but I can feel him. And for people that's close to God, bro, you understand what I mean. Bro, there's times, bro, I had $0 in my bank account getting up on here recording with you, bro, and I felt like I had $1 million. You know how I felt that way, bro? Because of God, bro. Because I had a true richness. It's a lot of broke rich people. And it's a lot of rich poor people. That don't even make sense. I'm telling you, the poorest people be the most happiest people in the world, and the richest people be the most miserable. Why do you think that's the problem? Why do you think that's the case? You know what I mean? Why do you think that's the case, bro? The devil will give you everything just to destroy yourself. Stop thinking that every blessing comes from God. First thing people want to say when they get a lot of money, thank you, God. The first thing people want to say when they get success is thank you, God. What if God didn't give you that blessing? What if God didn't give you that money? What if God didn't give you that car? What if God didn't give you that success? I'm telling you, bro, the devil will give you everything you want just to destroy yourself. Remember that, bro. I want you to question yourself, bro. After you get money, after you get all this, dang, did God give me this or did the devil give me this? Who gave me this?
Of the woman he had just killed, all the while truly believing it was all real, with this 911 call leaving a haunting impression on myself and the many others who have stumbled across it in the internet's darkest corners.
This right here was insane. It's insane right here, man. Killed his wife over financial issues. Killed his wife over losing a job. This is pure insanity.
Shopping for clothes used to be a nightmare. You can't blame Ryan.
Hey, man. 98 overall, man. No problem, man. We all go through hard times, man.
Do you ever feel
wish
like
for the better, man?
Watched?
Hey, man, come on, man. All this little being watched and all this.
Do you ever feel like you're being watched?
Yes, man, yes.
Considering that you're online watching this video,
God, here we go.
It's privacy for everyone, but it is, or by going to ExpressVPN.
Freak on. Jennifer Shinfield, we got chapter 2, y'all. Jennifer Shinfield.
Jennifer Sheffield's life is largely encapsulated by the posts she made on social media. She worked hard studying in medical school with the hope of becoming a doctor, a journey that she documented on her growing TikTok page.
15.8K?
When she wasn't at school or at a hospital, her time was spent with her family. She had been married to a man named Brandon Sheffield for around a decade, and when they met, Brandon already had 2 children from a separate relationship. Though this didn't deter her in any way, and instead she took on the responsibility of helping to care for them, raising the children alongside Brandon as if they were her own for much of their lives, to the point where they seemingly started referring to her as their mother, a role that she thrived in, as she frequently posted pictures and videos alongside them. And the same was also true for her being a wife, as she loved to share her memories and moments with Brandon, cultivating this image of the perfect family and the perfect pair. But on social media, things are rarely ever as they seem. And on the 10th of December 2024, Jennifer would drop a bombshell on her followers.
So, about to be a newly single mom, and I am in the middle of a divorce. My husband is being incredible though, like really and truly, like we're working together, everything's great, we're splitting everything down the middle, like, you know, everything is good.
After approximately...
That's what you think. That's what you think, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's what you think. You don't truly know a person until divorce. And like I said, I don't really want to share this, man, but I mean, yeah, I don't really want to share it. I was going to share something personal with y'all, bro. That's what I say. Y'all really truly don't know everything about me, bro. Keep so much from y'all, bro. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, but I'm not going to share that.
Approximately 10 years of marriage, Jennifer announced that she and Brandon were getting a divorce. There was no explanation for why, just the simple fact that they were separated and had already started the divorce process, something that was reiterated by both of their Facebook relationship statuses as they shifted to single around the same time. Despite the sad and even shocking news, it was clear that they were handling it better than most. There didn't appear to be any resentment between them, as Jennifer described Brandon as having been incredible throughout the process, supporting her in any way possible, which was obviously good not only for them, but for their children, who were top of mind for the pair.
It is a very civil divorce with our daughter in mind, and I really appreciate that.
I'm already knowing.
I'm on single income right now, and he will be helping with her. He will be supporting her, you know. So essentially, like, I'm really thankful for that, and that I will not have to worry so much about supporting her.
It was apparent that there was some kind of custody split being discussed between them, which isn't really made fully clear in the video. But what was clear was how grateful Jennifer was for Brandon's support. But even with this help, this marked the first time in Jennifer's adult life that she was really on her own.
I've never done this before. I've never been on my own before. So yeah, if you just have any tips, like, I would really appreciate it, because, like, I'm a little scared right now.
It was uncharted territory and something that she was understandably nervous about. But despite her fears, Jennifer maintained an optimistic attitude. And thankfully at this point, the divorce itself was going about as well as it could be. They were both supportive of each other, they were both thinking of the children, and there seemed to be no bad blood between them. Though, as I said before, on social media, things are rarely as they seem.
We have more breaking news now. This out of Brandon, where a husband and wife are dead following a murder.
That's crazy.
According to Brandon police, the couple was found on Toulon Street this morning after family conducted a welfare check on 30-year-old Jennifer Sheffield.
18 days after posting this video, praising Brandon Sheffield for the incredible way he had been handling their divorce, both Jennifer and Brandon would be found dead inside their Mississippi home. That morning, family members arrived at the house to perform a welfare check, but noted signs of foul play outside, leading to them calling the police. Inside, officers discovered the pair lying next to each other. Each had a single gunshot wound to the head, with one thing being blatantly obvious. Brandon Sheffield had been the one to pull the trigger both times, shooting Jennifer before turning the gun on himself. What happened that night isn't fully understood, but the motive is fairly clear. This was likely the result of the divorce that Brandon had supposedly been handling so well. Though obviously there seemed to be more going on behind the scenes. Perhaps the violence was spurred on by the holiday season, and Brandon's realization that this would be their last as a married couple. Or perhaps he just wanted Jennifer all to himself, and if he couldn't have her, no one could.
Now see this?
Since her murder, Jennifer's video has become a morbid piece of internet history, and just seeing how full of hope she was is heartbreaking in hindsight. And because of Brandon's actions, not only was Jennifer robbed of her future, but these children were robbed of their mother figure and their father figure all in one night. And making this even more devastating, some articles have claimed that one of these children was actually in the house during the shootings.
Oh man.
What Brandon did was nothing short of evil, but surprisingly, not everyone has seen it this way, as the discourse around this case has somehow led to people actually sympathizing with him, and even blaming Jennifer for her own murder. Sadly, this is just a front.
Oh my God, you see people, bro? People, how you gonna blame this woman? See how some women are? About to be a newly single mother, like, man, already trying to put herself in the market. Oh my God. These are the men that y'all need to watch out for. It's kind of weird how y'all trying to justify this man murdering this woman and murdering himself. That's weird. Need to watch out for these men right here. You know what I mean? Honestly. I don't care what she did. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing, if she ain't trying to take my life, ain't nothing justifiable for you killing her and killing yourself, my boy. So this right here, you trying to justify this? That's why I told y'all. That's why I got off the internet, y'all. I try to tell y'all. That's why I got off the internet. I'm telling y'all, bro, you will feel so good, y'all, bro. I told y'all, YouTube is for job. Twitch is for job. I don't be on Twitch unless I'm streaming. I promise y'all. I don't be on this app. YouTube, bro. 2 jobs. My 2 jobs. They're my 2 incomes. I got to be on YouTube and Twitch for job purposes. But you delete Instagram. You delete Twitter. You delete Facebook. You delete all the 9. You feel me? I'm telling you, you're going to feel like a different person. I'm telling y'all, bro. You just don't know because you know why? Because you're still a bot. You know what I mean? Just think about it, bro. I promise you, I don't even know you, but I promise you the first thing you do, bro, is get on your phone and go straight to Instagram. Am I lying? First thing you do, and I don't even know, I bet you the first thing you do is go on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You get on your phone before you get on your before you brush your teeth. You're a bot. You are a freaking bot. You feel me? And this another thing. Stop thinking that social media is real. Think about it, y'all. And I'm going to go and expose social media in this little sentence. Have you ever seen an unhappy person on social media? Have you ever seen a person that doesn't get money on social media? Have y'all ever seen an unhappy person on social media? Have y'all ever seen a person that's just struggling on social media? Everybody happy on social media. Everybody got it going on social media. Man, it's just a full of liars. Because you know why? Social media, you can be somebody that, bro, it's so different, bro. And it's scary, right? How on social media, you can be a totally complete opposite person of who you are in real life. It's a facade, bro. Just like she said, or he said. It's a facade. Social media isn't real. But you people literally be thinking social media real. It's a different worlds, bro. Different worlds. I promise you, you never seen an unhappy person and you never seen a person that's struggling. Everybody has money on social media. Everybody got it going on. Everybody's successful on social media. I'm telling you right now. And now you start, social media is bad for you because you start comparing yourself to other people, and the person that you comparing yourself with is not even living that life. Social media is terrible for you, bro. If you're not making money off social media, you don't need to be on there. You know, one thing that my mom said, my mom went somewhere with my grandma. My mom told me that this man said, you know, what he called a telephone, he called it a heliphone. I'm against social media, y'all. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if you're on TikTok, bro, you need to delete it. This comes from a man that doesn't have any of them. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. Feels so much better, but without it, I'm in tune with the real world. This is the real world that I'm living in. You living in that fake world. Social media is not good for you unless you're using it for money. I'm telling you right now. You know what I mean? Dang, we can't have fun, Jay. Hey, look, man, I'm trying to tell you, man. Social media is not meant to have fun. It's meant to control you. It's meant for you to keep you down. It's meant to keep you depressed. It looks fun, bro, but I'm telling you, it's all a freaking plan behind it. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it, bro. I want you to go think about it real quick. Go on Instagram and go search up models, bro. Model Instagram models and like their pictures, bro. And go on your feed, bro, and look what Instagram shows you. Look what Instagram shows you, bro. What you pay attention to the most is what social media is gonna dish in your face, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. You know what I mean? What you look at the most, I promise you, is what you see the most on TikTok. Is what you see the most on Twitter, what you see the most on Instagram, what you see the most on Facebook. That's what you're gonna see. They dish it to you. They trying to control you. They trying to keep you down. Man, social media, man, bad for people, man.
And even blaming Jennifer.
And I realized that at a young age. That's why I deleted all that junk. I ain't got TikTok. I ain't got Instagram. I ain't got Twitter. I ain't got Facebook. I ain't got none of that junk. I ain't got nothing. Try to search me up. If you see me on Twitter, that's a fake page. If you see me on TikTok, Instagram, or whatever, bro, Facebook, whatever, bro, that's a fake page. That ain't me.
Her own murder. Sadly, this is just a fraction of the disrespect that Jennifer has faced since her death, as there have been numerous other online controversies surrounding her and her family. Though for the sake of this video, I don't want these to distract from the very real story and the very real victim at its core. A young woman who will now never get to experience the future that she was so hopeful for.
I had this feeling this morning for some reason to tell you that it's gonna be okay. You still have a purpose. You've got to keep pushing. You still have a heartbeat. And that means that you got to keep going.
Dang. Motivational, man. Dang. Long live Jennifer, y'all. Y'all spell with that long live Jennifer. Long live Jennifer.
31-year-old Rania Ibrahim's Facebook page, friends, family, and followers have been accustomed to seeing posts of her children, various religious texts, and other media from her day-to-day life. But on June 14th, 2017, Rania would begin her very first live stream, and it was clear from the start that something had gone terribly wrong.
Okay, don't open the front door. You're going to bring the smoke in. Okay. Oh, you're not going to be able to breathe. Your I'm scared maybe someone outside. They're in the flat.
Open the door.
Sure. They've gone into
The footage is from Rania's perspective, as she and another woman discuss what lies behind the front door of the apartment unit they were in. The woman, believed to be 33-year-old Isra Ibrahim, told her not to open the door as it would let the smoke in, while Rania insisted that people might still be out there and in danger, eventually leading to her peeking outside, and in turn giving us a glimpse inside their nightmare situation.
There's too much smoke here. Okay. Okay, I'm not opening it.
Is it a fire going on? Like something that happened in Hong Kong? Holy crap. Like the whole building is on fire, bro. You gotta get the freak out of it.
Opens for just a split second, revealing a thick layer.
Jesus, bro, the whole building on fire, bro. You gotta get the freak out. You sitting in there, you gonna die. There's no choice. You gotta get the freak out, bro. Gotta get the freak out. If you sitting there, you're dead.
Of black smoke,
all that smoke.
Loud ringing of fire alarms, and someone pounding on a door. Rania eventually calls out to whoever was knocking outside, beckoning them towards her.
Hello, come here. Come here. Hello. Hello. Come. Quick.
Bro, you're sitting. You're
57-year-old Gary Monders emerges from the smog, completely covered in ash. It's
sitting
a
in there.
dramatic scene, and one that you can start to piece together based on the footage alone, as it was clear that there was a fire raging.
That's what I knew it. I said a large fire like Hong Kong. Guy ain't see that junk I seen in Hong Kong. That junk was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, Hong Kong was crazy. I need y'all to go look at that video in Hong Kong. Four apartment buildings, bro, got freaking burned. You know what I'm saying? Imagine being to the top floor, bro. In that situation right here, you have no choice but to get the freak out of there. You got to get the freak out. You sitting in there like sitting ducks, you dead. You got to get out of here. You have no choice but to leave the building. If you standing in the building, they're doing the wrong thing. They're standing inside that building. They're dead. They're dead. I can promise you they're dead.
Apartment complex, and the entire floor Rania was filming on had been...
You said she, hold on. You said she opened the door. Let me see what you said. She opened the door, would have made me mad. Bro, you got to open the door. What you mean? Bro, did you see what this just said? Large fire inside apartment building. The apartment building is on fire. So you staying in that building, you staying in there, you're dead. Most likely. So I'm finna try to get the freak out of here. I'm finna try to run for my dang life. I'm not finna sit here like a sin duck. That's a dang lie.
That there was a fight.
They on the top floor? Okay, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Macau York? What you gonna do? What, you just gonna stand there and die? What you gonna do? You gonna stand there and die, huh? Or you gonna just try that? I don't know. I just feel like for me, I feel like it's more common sense to try to run for my life than just stand here just sitting like a sin duck.
That apartment complex.
That's just me personally. I'm not finna just sit and just die.
Was filming on had been.
If I'm gonna die, I'm at least try.
Smoke that essentially trapped her and a few others inside this flat. Given the sheer
freak out of here.
Smoke
That's a lot of dang smoke,
why
man.
the others in the room insisted on keeping that door closed. But Rania continued to hit back on this, as she didn't want anyone to be stuck out there alone.
That's a lot of dang smoke.
Because the smoke is coming. But the people outside.
That's a lot of dang smoke, bro. Smoke can kill y'all too, though, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. That's how my grandfather died. My dad died in the fire. My dad died with his smoke inhaler. Nah, I mean, y'all probably didn't know that. My grandfather, my dad has died in this. You could die from the smoke. You inhaling on that smoke, you can die. So that's dangerous as well.
Before eventually conceding and closing the door for good. It was obvious that the situation was dire.
Hell, my dang breath.
Just how dire wasn't revealed until Rania made her way over to the window.
Okay, I'm not going. Okay.
I'm about to. They ain't on the top floor. But would have had to climb down.
They were 23 stories in the air, in the highest floor of the Grenfell Tower,
in
North Kensington, London, England, where Rania and hundreds of others lived. And now, somewhere in that high-rise, was a growing fire.
They screwed. They did. And that's why I try to tell y'all, bro. That's why for me, I never like. And it's one thing y'all understand, bro. I don't like being at the top building. I don't like being at the top. I feel like being at the top is way worse. I'd rather be at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like at the bottom. You feel me? And that's one thing that I pride myself on. And this is what we're going to have to pride ourselves on, y'all. We go to a hotel, man. Let's go at the bottom. Hotel at the bottom. Whatever apartment, we at the bottom. We at the bottom, like for that 9/11, bro. 9/11 hit, bro. Them folks at the bottom, they survived. You at the top, you screwed, gang. She screwed. So it's like, she dead either way. Right? They don't have stairs in there, though. They ain't got stairs? Okay.
احنا في اخر دور هو اللي لسه ما ولعش يا ربنا يستر ان شاء الله.
Hey, look, man.
As she looks out the window, Rania tells her viewers
look,
that
you're
she
praying
believes
to
the
the
fire
wrong.
had started from the bottom of the structure and was quickly working its way up to them, with it now being just one floor below them. But officially, this wasn't the story that Rania and the others in the room were being told, as each time they would dial 999, the operators would tell them that the fire was generally contained and leave them with one clear instruction: stay put. This was the name of a nationwide rescue policy for all high-rise fires that stated that people should stay in their flats and wait for rescue as opposed to trying to escape on their own, as buildings like these were made from thick concrete and should hypothetically keep fires relatively contained in the flat that they started.
So with a random stairs.
Time period of around 2 hours.
A random dang stair.
Considering that this fire had started roughly 1 hour before Rania's stream, they should have been relatively safe until rescue crews got to them. And when looking outside, the fire wasn't even noticeable, meaning it was possible it was still contained and had simply been producing a lot of smoke. But that belief was far too optimistic for reality.
Fire brigade? Yeah, hello, hi. In the fire, flat 16 Greenfield Tower. Sorry, a fire where? Flat 16 Greenfield Tower. It's the 4th floor. Right, okay. Quick. They're on the way already.
See how people in the bottom floor just got the freak up out of there?
Approximately 1 hour earlier, on the 4th floor of the tower, a man called 911 to report that his freezer had caught fire. It was an incident that had happened through no fault of his own, and due to his quick phone call, firefighters would arrive on the scene within minutes.
That's your
One
freezer.
of them was wearing a camera that showed that they were able to handle the blaze in a relatively efficient manner.
How does your freezer catch fire? That's a first. A freezer catch fire?
With the camera using thermal imaging and heat sensors to assure that the fire was fully out. The camera scans around, showing a few items strewn about that were still at relatively high temperatures. But other than that, the room was completely clear.
Never
It
heard.
seemed as though the fire was out for good.
Never heard that in my life.
The camera panned to the window.
Jesus. It's a lot of smoke, man. Oh my God.
Revealing scorching hot droplets of debris falling from the outside like molten rain.
Heck yeah, that's
the fire had spread above them and was now burning up the side of the building in a manner that was completely unprecedented and defied any sort of logic based on the firefighters' knowledge of the scene. And by the time they even realized what was happening, things were already out of hand.
Dang! Oh my God. Jesus, man. Oh yeah, they gone. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. This is a major fire. You know, yeah. They're gone.
Already out of hand.
There's no way out of that one. I'm not gonna lie. Look at this. Oh my God. Dang.
The fire was huge, and within just that first hour, nearly the entire building was engulfed in flames. And Rania was now trapped on the tallest floor, opposite to where the fire was raging. And she wasn't alone. Not only were there over 100 people left in the building at this time, but 2 of them were Rania's own children. 4-year-old Fethia and 3-year-old Tanya, who were stuck in the same flat as their mother and several others. With desperation mounting, some of the others called out the window for help.
We're stuck on the 23rd floor! Hello!
Look, at the end of the day, you're going to have to save yourself at this point. They're not Superman. You know, they're human. So me knowing that they're human, what they going to do, fly up here like they're Superman or Iron Man or something? You know what I'm saying? They're trying the best they can. They're not God, you know, and I know that, and I understand that these are human beings that I'm relying on. So I'm not going to just sit here and just wait for me to die. I'm not going to sit here and just wait for them to save me. I'm sorry. If I'm the type of person, if I die, I'm going to die trying. I'm sorry. You're more likely to survive if you try to get out than just sitting there, bro. Yes, you have a 0% chance of surviving. At least I have a small, even if it's a small percentage chance of me living, I still have a chance, you know, with actually trying to go out. You know what I mean? Like, you got stairs. It's stairs in an apartment building. I know that for sure, Leo. It's stairs. It's not just an elevator. It's stairs. You know what I mean? Because there's always stairs in high rises like that. So you got stairs. So please tell me why the freak are you still sitting in that building?
People stuck upstairs!
Until the stream went dark roughly 6 minutes later.
Oh, shoot.
Despite things looking grim for the group on the 23rd floor, there was still some optimism about their rescue, as even 30 minutes after the stream had ended, those in the group were told once again by 999 operators to stay put.
Man, F you, bro!
The operator even telling them that the fire was contained to the 4th floor, which clearly wasn't the case. Rania's sister later spoke to the media about a phone call that they had shared around the same time, where she begged Rania to try and leave, recalling, "She did not. She respected and trusted and believed that they are coming to rescue them." And by this point, there were hundreds of rescuers on the scene, along with multiple helicopters flying around them, which only further kept their faith alive. But tragically, this was all a cruel facade. Internally, fire crews were told not to go past the 12th floor shortly after the stream ended. It was just too dangerous. And as for the helicopters,
that's crazy.
Well, those trapped inside would have had no idea that those were actually just police helicopters, merely used for surveillance.
Basically just F everybody else. You know what I'm saying? See how they saying? They're like, bro, we ain't going past it. So the operator that you talking to not telling you all this. So the operator, bro, you should get fired and smacked. Reality. She telling you everything gonna be okay. She telling you stay put, but she not telling you the reality of this situation. She not telling you that they not going past the 12th floor. She not telling you that. You feel me? I would have been out of there so fast, but
equipped for rescue, nor were they ever considered to be used for that, as getting too close would have blown more air on the fire and made the blaze even worse.
I would have got to freak out of there so fast.
Offered them no chance at survival. They were entirely on their own, leading to authorities finally telling them to try and escape by themselves. But by this point, there was no point. This was 2 hours after the fire had started, and an hour after Ranya's stream. The fire had completely taken over the structure, and inside there was only one single stairway. A stairway that was now impossible to safely traverse for anyone on the higher floors. Even attempting it would have been a death sentence. The orders for them to shelter in place had cost them valuable time, and in turn, any chance at leaving while they could. And it was all for a rescue that was now impossible, leaving them completely trapped. Rania, Fethia, Hanya, and everyone else shown in this livestream would perish in what we now know today as the Grenfell Tower Fire, a fire that claimed the lives of 72 people, and one of the worst fire tragedies in Europe's history. And while we've covered many large-scale tragedies on this channel before, few have been more preventable than this one. The Grenfell Tower was built back in 1974, and around the 2010s, its concrete exterior was beginning to look outdated in an area that was experiencing a wave of modernization. The neighborhood was becoming trendier and wealthier, and the tower was becoming an eyesore to some. And so the decision was made by the Kensington and Chelsea Tenant Management Organization, along with the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea, to refurbish the exterior by adding new siding known as cladding to give it a more modern appeal. It was purely aesthetic, but its effects were horrific. The cladding was created by a company called Arconic, which had tested it numerous times to see how it held up to fire, and the results were awful. Their ACM cladding received a grading of F, with it being apparent that it was extremely flammable, with some likening it to gasoline due to how quickly it would erupt into flames, while also producing 3 times the amount of smoke as usual fires. But despite having these test scores and even acknowledging their failure,
still put it up there.
Emails sent throughout the company, notoriously following up their F score with the line, "Oops." They not only refused to fix the problem, but they also kept selling it, with one of their clients being the group working on the Grenfell Tower refurbishment.
But these folks got an F on the project. They got an F on the project. It was a failing project, and they still put it up there and talk about some oops. Last thing I would do is rely on humans. I'm telling y'all, bro. If you think I'm finna put my life in a human's hands, I'd say for me, man, you gotta put your life in some human's hands, because, you know, you gotta drive cars and all that. But for me, I don't get on roller coasters. That's just me personally. I don't know how y'all get on all them roller coasters. I don't get on them roller coasters. You know, you're putting your life at risk every time you get on that roller coaster. Every time you get on that roller coaster, you're putting your life at risk. It's not 100% certain that you're coming back down from that roller coaster. I've heard about plenty of amusement parks, plenty amusement park accidents. I'm telling you. I don't get on roller coasters and planes. I don't like planes. When I flew to Houston, I ain't like that. If it's drivable, we're going to take that drive. You know what I'm saying? Before flying. It's just, trusting man is just something, man, I'm not very fond of, man.
It wasn't even a secret either. Those in charge of the project wanted it done as cheap
so they got an F on this project and they still chose to put it up. Right. So I understand. So you just say F the people. We gonna do what the freak we want to do. Right.
And this ACM cladding was as cheap as it got.
I get it.
And so they chose it despite knowing the fire risk. And worst of all, they had the opportunity to buy a version of this product that was actually flame retardant, but they opted for the cheaper, more dangerous product, which in the end only saved them about 5,000 pounds.
Hey Ray, man, I'm a late bloomer, man. I'm a late streamer, man. Just gotta tune in when it's late, brother. 12 o'clock a.m. to 1 a.m., man.
Or roughly 6.
Mostly, man. Mostly is the times.
Arconic knowingly sold.
Will I be live on stream, man?
The companies working on the Grenfell Tower refurbishment knowingly bought the flammable product. And in the end, it all resulted in a disaster that they all should have seen coming. And when you couple this with the flawed orders to shelter in place, and the fact that there was only one stairwell, it was a recipe for disaster. This was always going to happen. This was a failure on so many levels for so many parties, and it all traces back to greed and the value of money over the lives of innocent people like Rania and her children.
So basically, you wasn't a reason for the fire, but if you would have never put those things into place, this probably would have never happened. Crazy, but basically you put greed over people.
Starting 8 years ago, justice has
you deserve to get smacked.
As investigations are still ongoing to this day, leading to an agonizing wait for all those who lost loved ones.
They ain't gonna do nothing.
With the trials themselves not expected to start for another full year.
Policy of stay put remains in effect to this day, though it has been slightly altered through the fire, since the fire. Man, F all that stay put, man. Staying put nowhere. It's estimated that there are still thousands of residential buildings in the UK and worldwide with flammable ACM cladding. Don't care about $1 billion. Man, one thing about greedy people, bro, they only want more.
The usual start to the day for Rhoda McFarland.
One thing about greedy people, they only want more, bro. You know what I'm saying? These folks is greedy. You feel me? Greed, 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 greed. You know what I mean? And I'm going to call it out how I see it. How I knew this mother effer was greedy. How I knew this mother effer was selfish. I'm going to call it out. Jeff Bezos came into the... And then the first thing that a lot of people going to say, well, it's his money. It's not even your money, honestly. You know, it's God's money. We're borrowing everything. It's not your money, bro. It's really the people money, bro. Because without people, you're nothing. Just be real. It's God's money first and then the people's money. Like, this ain't my money. It's really your money. Because I'm making money off you. But people are not humble enough to accept that. People are not humble enough to, who am I without you watching? What money am I making without people? So it'd be so funny when these cats that be famous, and I'll never in my life deny a picture when I get big up there. I'll never in my life make a fan feel like they're less than. Bro, people make you, bro. The only reason Jeff Bezos, you're like that, bro, is because of people. You're nothing without people. That's why I laugh at these famous people. I laugh at. That's why I be like, bro, I never follow these famous people. I don't follow no celebrities. I don't follow these. I don't look at them like like y'all look at them. I look at them like, oh yeah, you are made by the people. You're nothing without people. I don't look at you like you just all class and ain't nothing, bro. Ain't no such thing as a self-made woman and a self-made man. You ain't self-made nothing. Ain't nobody self-made. You know what I'm saying? You can get money on your own. People the reason you get money. People the reason you're Jeff Bezos. But you got the nerve to go inside your Amazon, bro, and just look around. Instead of changing people's lives, bro, you can, bro, if I was Jeff Bezos, bro, it's like, dang, bro, you don't want to change nobody's life but your own, bro. That's all you want to do is take care of you. That's it. Like what? Like, I just like, bro, what the freak? You going into Amazon. This man, I've seen a video, this man going into Amazon just looking around. Dang, bro, why you don't just change people's lives? You know what I'm saying? You got all the money to change a lot of people's lives in here. Change somebody's life, bro. Give somebody $5,000 because you can do it. Because you can do it. Show your workers you appreciate. Your worker, without your workers, you're nothing. So instead of going there and looking around, bro, show your workers that you appreciate. You showing workers that they're appreciated, want to make them work for you more. Same thing for Donald Trump. Donald Trump going into McDonald's. I've seen this on YouTube. This man went into McDonald's. They're teaching him how to make fries. Bro, instead of going to McDonald's, bro, and trying to learn how to make fries, how about you change somebody's life out this mother effer, bro? You know what I mean? Change somebody's life. You feel me? Because you can do that. You're in a position to do that. These folks be greedy and these folks be selfish, bro. They don't care about nobody but themselves and their family. They think they're not selfish. They think they're not greedy because they give to their family. Give to somebody outside your family. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't want to help people nowadays, bro, without getting something in return. It's not helping nobody if you're expecting something in return. True help is giving to somebody and not expecting nothing. So if they do help people these days, if people do help people, they're expecting something in return. You know what I'm saying? They're not truly helping anybody.
22-year-old manager of the Lane Bryant store.
Bunch of selfish and greedy people.
Was no stranger to big sales.
Ain't stand that jump.
It's the have it all sale at Lane Bryant.
Lane Bryant had a habit of
launching
clearance events, sending out flyers and airing commercials in the days and weeks before to let all of their customers know.
And another thing, y'all be having a nerve. Y'all got the nerve to let famous people treat y'all this way. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got the nerve to let famous people treat y'all this way, bro. Y'all got the nerve to let famous people act like this. Y'all act like they can't even hold a conversation. That's why I talk to the chat. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like I said, when I'm on YouTube, I told you, I don't look at comments because it's no point. I just know, like, I don't know. I don't really care about what people say to me and say about me, whether if it's good or bad, bro. That's why I don't freaking, you know what I'm saying? Look at that junk over there. Cause I'm not really fun. Even if you say something good about me, I don't care, bro. say something about it. I just don't care. I'm just not really fond of caring what people think. When I'm on this Twitch chat, man, and I see y'all in this chat, you know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't I freaking, you know what I'm saying, communicate with y'all? Why wouldn't I talk? I'm human just like you human, bro. Ain't no better than you, gang. You know, like I doodle just like you, bro. I pee just like you. I bleed just like you. I'm no different from you. I'm probably more known than you, but we're just the same, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not finna, when I'm live streaming, I see you talking to me, I'm not finna act like I don't see it, like a lot of these people be doing. Who are you not to talk to your stream? Who is you not to talk to your chat? When you making money off them. Who is you? That junk be pissing me the freak off, bro.
In this day, February
acting like
2nd,
you don't see people talking to you, acting like you don't see people chatting with you, acting like you too good to speak to your chat, but you nothing without your chat. Who the freak is you? Well, boy, what are you content creator? But people in general, but you be, bro, I don't know. I just look at things different, bro. That's just me, bro.
In 2008,
who the freak is you, bro?
Another one of these sales. She knew it would be a
I don't know how y'all do it, but
potentially a stressful one.
I don't know how y'all do it.
Employees, as that morning only one worker was scheduled to open the store, something that Rhoda disagreed
with,
leading to her coming in to help, even though she had the day off. But like I said, this was a typical morning for her, as this was just the kind of person she was, always willing and wanting to help others. And as she clocked in at 10 a.m., she and her coworker braced for a potential rush of excited shoppers. The rush, however, wasn't as dramatic as they may have expected, and in the first 15 minutes or so of opening, only 5 people had entered the store, 4 of which were female shoppers looking for some deals.
It's a crazy video though, man.
A delivery man who walked in holding a stack of papers. The man approached them and made casual conversation, but after a few minutes had passed, he kind of just lingered around, never actually delivering anything, which Rhoda found strange, especially considering that it was Saturday.
Don't tell me it's a bomb, bro. Don't tell me that's a bomb, bro.
That they
Come on, bro.
Didn't receive packages. Growing more and more suspicious by the minute, Rhoda quietly placed a call to a nearby Lane Bryant store, who confirmed to her that there was in fact nothing scheduled to be dropped off that day. But before she could even process this information, an incident was already unfolding around her. Out of nowhere, the delivery man pulled out a pistol and pointed it at the women, yelling at them to hand over the money from the register, before proceeding to round up Rhoda, her employee, and the 4 women shopping, demanding that they all give up their cash and jewelry. After he was satisfied with the collection, he forced the women to the back of the store, where one by one he bound them with duct tape, placing them each face down on the floor, and putting underwear over their heads to obstruct their view. In the minutes following, he would venture back out into the store where 2 women had entered. They too were then robbed and then forced into the back room, where they were eventually subdued, but not before he struck one of them in the face with his pistol, nearly knocking her unconscious. It appeared to be a fairly high-level robbery, but after he now had them all in the back room, the whole operation seemed to grind to a halt. It was like he didn't know what to do next, as he started pacing the room and slowly losing his cool. The minutes ticked on, and the more time that passed, the more agitated he became. It was clear that the pressure was getting to him, and sensing his disorganization, Rhoda seized the opportunity, quietly slipping her hand free, allowing her to call 911 through her Bluetooth headset.
911 emergency. We're at
Despite the man being in the room with her and the others, Rhoda managed to alert authorities to her exact location, telling them to hurry and making it clear that the situation was urgent. In the background, you can also hear the robber himself, whose disheveled state is apparent as he outwardly states,
Well, say he losing it. Right when he say he losing it, everybody attack. Right when he say he losing it, everybody attack. That's a man he has mental issues. This is a man right here that's going to kill you. This is a man that has nothing to lose. I'm losing it. You know what I'm saying? Any stable man, because the police wasn't even in the area yet. So this right here, this how I know he throw it off. Any stable man would have just robbed this store, robbed y'all. I mean, he's not stable for robbing, but y'all get what I'm saying. He would have just robbed you, you know what I mean? And then robbed the whole store and got the freak up out of there. This man right here, still there talking about, man, I'm losing it, man, I'm losing it. He has a bigger plan, and I think that plan is to killing you and everybody in there and killing himself as well. He has nothing to lose, ladies and gentlemen. He has nothing to lose.
Quickly dialing dispatch and telling Rhoda not to hang up.
Stay on the line. Let me get you to Tinley Park. Don't hang up.
But within just a split second, the call disconnected. By some stroke of good fortune, there was actually an officer in that shopping center only about 100 feet away, and from the time that Rhoda made that call, the officer managed to arrive on the scene within just a few minutes. He rushed inside the store, but inside he found nothing. until he made his way over to that back room.
Don't tell me they're dead, bro.
Inside, he would find them. 6 women with underwear over their heads, lying on the floor, each one having been shot execution style just seconds after Rhoda's 911 call.
I'm just saying, like, what, we just gonna stand here, y'all? I mean, they got duct tape over their hands. I forgot they got duct tape, bro. Let them duct tape you. That's one thing that you shouldn't did, bro. Let them duct tape you, bro. So they was duct taped, basically. No, they weren't just sitting down waiting to be. They were duct taped, bro. They were trapped. Wow. Told you. I knew it. I knew it. I'm like, bro, he said, I'm like, yeah, I knew it. This man right here ain't got nothing to lose right here.
Mass murder. But in the midst of this awful scene, one thing was missing.
The band.
The killer himself. And so authorities flooded the area, scanning and searching all over for the gunman, who was described as a black man with a husky build and a single braid that fell to his right cheek that ended in green beads. And the reason they knew exactly what he looked like wasn't because of security footage, as at the time the store didn't even have any CCTV cameras, but instead, it was because one of the women actually survived.
Whoa!
When the man began his executions, he moved his way over to the employee that Rhoda came in to help, and when he fired his gun, she moved at just the right moment, causing the bullet to graze her neck, to which he proceeded to then play dead so that the man wouldn't notice. And thankfully, he didn't. Her testimony is the reason why we know exactly what this man looks like, and why we know what those moments were like before the shooting. But
how long I've been streaming, chat? How long I've been streaming?
Even utilizing a helicopter, there was no trace of the killer.
You gotta find him, bro.
The CCTV footage from a neighboring store showed that just before Rhoda made that call to 911, 2 large SUVs pulled up in front of the building right after the shooting likely occurred. It's believed that both of these SUVs were involved in some way, with one potentially being a lookout and the other likely being the getaway car, explaining how he would have gotten away so quickly. Not to mention that the store was located right near the entrance of an interstate, which could have taken them out of the state extremely quickly. That was 18 years ago.
18.
And today, neither the shooter nor the drivers have ever been identified.
Wow.
Marking a rare instance in which a mass shooting...
So this man has gotten away. So this man's still out here. This man's still out here. This man right here is still out here. This man killed 5 women, bro, and still walking free today, bro. But it was 18 years ago. It wasn't all the technology and all the cameras and all that. He would have been, I ain't gonna lie, bro, he would have been caught immediately. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy though. 5 killed 5 women, bro. And he has not been locked up. He didn't get caught.
Drivers have ever been identified.
Crazy.
Marking a rare instance in which a mass shooting in America went unsolved, leaving us with so many unanswered questions to this day, with one of the biggest being the motive. Police have labeled this as a robbery gone wrong, which does seem to be the case. But why Lane Bryant? And why come in the morning when there was next to no cash in the register?
Exactly.
I mean, in total, the killer only made off with about $200, and that's including the cash he stole from the women.
Seemed like that was some type of target hit.
Today is that the killer had planned on taking customers hostage as they entered the store, but perhaps he grew frustrated at the lack of customers that day, until he eventually noticed that Rhoda was making a 911 call, which caused him to panic and start shooting. But what always gets me about this is that he never covered his face at any point, which makes me wonder if he was planning on killing these women all along. Though if that's true, how could this ever have been worth it? Due to just how bizarre this whole situation is, some have posed other theories, like perhaps this was someone with a drug addiction who was looking for quick cash to get his next fix, perhaps explaining his rapidly deteriorating behavior, or even that the suspect was actually a woman who never got caught because police were primarily looking for a male. But it's impossible to know for sure at the moment, and might not ever be known, as despite having survivor testimony, an exact description of this man's face and body, his voice, and even his DNA, which was discovered under one of the victim's fingernails, we still have no idea who this man is, or where he went.